What I've literally heard in the last few minutes is that Marcus Agius, the chairman of Barclays, will be resigning. An announcement is likely first thing in the morning. You may remember that I said last week, after the details of Barclays' involvement in the LIBOR rigging scandal came out, I said that there was considerable pressure from shareholders for either Mr. Agius or Mr. Diamond, or indeed both, to go, and that in fact momentum was building for Mr. Agius to go, partly because it's much harder to replace a chief executive than it is a chairman, and there was a feeling that perhaps Mr. Agius was a little bit too close to Mr. Diamond, and therefore a sort of tougher, rather more independent chairman needed to be appointed, and that indeed is apparently what is happening. We don't obviously know yet who the new chairman will be, but we do know that Mr. Agius is quitting.
But will that, do you think, increase the pressure on Bob Diamond, especially in terms of what we read today, in terms of the phone calls he made to politicians in the last few days, and indeed to Ed Miliband, about the pressure on him to go when he was in charge of this department at the time?
Look, there will be many people who will continue to call for Mr. Diamond to go, since he was the chief executive of Barclays Capital during the period when employees of Barclays Capital were trying to rig the LIBOR interest rate in a way that ultimately led to Barclays being fined a record £290 million by regulators in the UK and the US. That said, most people would say he's a highly talented executive. He has personally committed to improve and change the culture of Barclays. And now, broadly, it will be up to a combination of shareholders and regulators, but at the moment mostly shareholders, the ball is in their court, to determine whether indeed he is the right man to lead them forward. As I say, many shareholders will be encouraged that a new chairman is being appointed, and they will certainly look to that chairman as one of his or her first tasks to evaluate precisely the question you raise: is Bob Diamond the right person for Barclays in the long term?